Today we have the chapter number 48 of the Tao Te Ching. It says, those who seek learning gain every day. Those who seek the way lose every day. They lose and they lose until they find nothing to do. Nothing to do means nothing not done. Who rules the world isn't busy. If someone is busy, can't rule the world. I already omit the phrase sit comfortably. Those who seek learning gain every day. Those who seek the way lose every day. They lose and they lose until they find nothing to do. Nothing to do means nothing not done. Very explicit, this chapter. Sometimes we have an approach to practice that falls into the first category, learning and gaining. And that, I think, is the open door to suffering. Because we cannot pile up understanding. We can do that with koans, but we cannot do that with understanding itself. And even if we are piling up koans and books and teachers and sessions, doesn't work. And I may say this is also not true learning. I think true learning is reflected in the second line. Those who seek the way lose every day. That is, I think, true learning. Backwards, to use Lao Tzu's word from yesterday's chapter. Unlearning every day until we touch that primal knowledge, primal wisdom. Someone called Viento made a comment that said, get rid of knowledge. The knowledge of no knowledge is the ancestor of all knowledge and the teacher of heaven and earth. The ancestor. The knowledge of no knowledge. We touch again here this wonderful episode of Bodhidharma facing the emperor when he says, I don't know. This, I think, is the ancestor of all of us, the ancestor of all knowledge and the teacher of heaven and earth, to quote Zhen. That don't know mind, completely intimate with the mystery itself, not trying to clear up the mystery, but to make the mystery clear, shining, alive, as ourselves. They lose every day, he says here. Every day, moment by moment. One instant zazen, one instant session. I think if we place zazen or session in time, it begins at such a time, ends 50 minutes after that. Our session ends tomorrow noon. if we place our practice into that context, it becomes really difficult. Continuity is no good for the practice. Intensity and passion, I think, is. So when we take up zazen or we take up sesshin, it has to be just one moment zazen, just one moment sesshin. As if in that moment is the only moment we have in our whole life for practicing, and our very life and death depends on that. One moment zazen, one moment sesshin. So we don't postpone better zazen or better sesshin for later. And also there we can touch together with the heart of passion, the heart of lightness. Because we do that one moment session, and then we lose it, and we do another one moment zazen. And if we understand something, lose it, and then one moment session again, day by day. Those who seek the way lose every day. They lose and they lose until they find nothing to do, he said. Dogen Senji is famous for his words about shedding off body and mind. I think he is pointing to that losing, unlearning, when he says, to study the way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be awakened by the 10,000 beings. To be awakened by the 10,000 beings is to shed off body and mind of oneself and of others. No trace of realization remains, and that no trace continues endlessly. No trace. Traceless zazen, traceless understanding, traceless sesshin. They lose and they lose until they find nothing to do, he says here. Nothing to do means nothing not done. This, I think, points to one of the so-called bodies of the Buddha. We have the Dharmakaya, body of emptiness, the Nirmanakaya, the body of uniqueness, where every single sin is completely unique, while in the one before, every single sin and beings or in ourselves is completely empty. And the third one is the one I like the most, the Sambhogakaya, which is called full and complete. That's the body of fullness in which nothing is lacking and every single thing is complete, full and complete, as it is, including ourselves. He finds nothing not done. He finds everything is full and complete. That is practiced in that body of the Buddha, Sambhogakaya. And I think it has not been emphasized enough in our Zen practice. And I find that emphasis in the Dharmakaya, the empty side, can easily lead to a dry way of understanding of practice. And the other one, the Nirmanakaya, also can easily lead to pride and arrogance, which was one of the critiques that Pure Land people used to have in Tang Dynasty against Zen people. When we practice, we become one with that Sambhoga Kaja, body of the Buddha, the body of complete fullness, complete joy that goes together with that, is where, to quote Lao Tzu, we find nothing not done, everything complete. Nothing to do means nothing not done, says our text. But we should be aware about that. This is not to be satisfied with the world or ourselves or things just as they are, merely satisfaction. This is oneness with the full and complete body of the Buddha, and just because of this, we can be true to our dukkha, the essential unsatisfaction that leads the way at every step. And at every step shows the need of understanding, personalization, and action to engage in the dance of stopping suffering, establishing right here, right now, the Pure Land. This is our practice, I think, in this very moment in the planet history.